Welcome to my channel where we bring you stories that will make your spine tingle. Today, we have a spine-chilling tale that will keep you on the edge of your seat. It was a dark and stormy night when a group of 5 friends ventured into an abandoned house in the woods, hoping to uncover the truth behind the rumors of paranormal activity. What they experienced that night will haunt them forever. So, grab a blanket, turn off the lights, and get ready for a tale that will send shivers down your spine. Before we get started, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Okay, let's begin. It was a dark and stormy night when a group of 5 friends, Anna, Sarah, John, Kyle, and Lisa, gathered at an abandoned house in the woods to explore the rumors of paranormal activities. They had heard stories of a girl who was brutally murdered in the house years ago. As they entered the house, they felt a sense of unease. The walls were decaying, and the floorboards creaked under their feet. The air was thick with the smell of mold and decay. Anna suggested they split up to cover more ground. The others agreed, not wanting to seem scared. As Sarah and John went to the second floor, Kyle and Lisa explored the basement, leaving Anna alone on the first floor. Anna felt a cold breeze, even though the windows were boarded up. Suddenly, she heard a faint whisper from behind her. She turned around, but there was no one there. As she turned back around, she saw a shadowy figure in front of her. It was the ghost of the girl who was murdered in the house. Anna tried to run, but the ghost caught up to her and strangled her to death, leaving her lifeless body on the floor. The 4 friends who were exploring the house heard Anna's screams and rushed to the first floor. They found her body and panicked. They realized that they had to leave, but they were trapped. The doors and windows were locked from the outside, and they couldn't find a way out. Hours passed, and the storm only grew stronger. They were cold and scared and started to hear strange noises throughout the house. The ghost of the murdered girl had come back to haunt them. The ghost of the murdered girl had come back to haunt them. They tried to communicate with her, but she remained silent. As the night wore on, the friends started to hear Anna's voice calling out to them. They followed her voice and found her sitting in the corner of a room. She looked at them with blank, lifeless eyes and spoke in a strange, otherworldly language. The friends realized that Anna had come back to life and was now possessed by the ghost. Anna's possessed body moved slowly towards the friends, who backed away in fear. They knew they had to do something to free Anna from the ghost's grasp. Sarah remembered reading about a ritual to banish ghosts, and they decided to try it. The ritual consisted of lighting candles, burning sage, and saying incantations. As they performed the ritual, the ghost of the murdered girl became more aggressive. She started throwing objects at them and howling in anger. The friends continued the ritual, even as the ghost's attacks became more violent. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, the ghost disappeared in a hazy mist, and Anna fell to the ground, the color returning to her cheeks. The friends were relieved that they had survived the night, but they knew they could never forget what they had experienced. In the weeks following the incident, the friends struggled to move on. Sarah couldn't sleep without the lights on. John developed a nervous twitch, and Kyle refused to enter any abandoned buildings. Lisa withdrew into herself, haunted by the image of Anna's lifeless body and the possessed girl. But it soon became clear that the ghost was not done with them. Strange things started happening around them. Objects would move on their own, doors would slam shut, and they would hear faint whispers in the middle of the night. As the weeks passed, the friends realized that the ghost had attached itself to them. For whatever reason, it had chosen them as its vessels, and it would not rest until it had consumed them completely. They knew they had to act fast before the ghost consumed them all, so they started researching ways to sever the connection between them and the ghost. They read countless books on the occult, attended seances, and consulted with spiritual experts, but nothing seemed to work. Finally, they came across a book that spoke of a powerful spell that could sever the bond between the possessed and their ghosts. The spell was complex, requiring rare ingredients and precise timing, but the friends were determined to try it. They spent weeks preparing for the spell, gathering the ingredients and practicing the incantation. Finally, on a dark, moonless night, they gathered in the abandoned house, the place where it had all started. They lit the candles and placed them around the room, and then they began the incantation. As they chanted, they felt the air around them grow thick and heavy, and they could sense the ghost's presence growing stronger. Suddenly, they heard a deafening screech, and the ghost appeared before them, angrier and more violent than ever. It threw objects at them, slamming them against the walls, and wailed in agony as it fought against the spell. But the friends were not deterred. They continued to chant, their voices growing louder and more forceful, and finally, after what felt like an eternity, the ghost vanished, leaving behind a strange, otherworldly residue. The friends collapsed, exhausted and drained of energy, but relieved that the ritual had worked. They knew that they had finally freed themselves from the ghost's grasp, and they could now move on with their lives. But even as they left the abandoned house, they knew that the horror would never truly leave them. They had seen things that would haunt them forever, and they knew that they would never be the same. But they also knew that they were stronger for it, and that they would face whatever horrors came their way with determination and courage. And as they walked away from the abandoned house, they could feel the ghost's presence fading away, as if it too was finally at rest. And that concludes our tale of 5 friends who ventured into an abandoned house to explore rumors of paranormal activities. They never could have imagined the horrors that awaited them. Their journey took them through fear, loss, possession, and finally, to the discovery of a spell that could free them from the ghost's grasp. While they may have succeeded in banishing the ghost, the memories and trauma of that night will stay with them forever. Thank you for joining us on this chilling adventure, and we hope you'll tune in for more spine-tingling stories in the future. Before you go, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel.